Silent play.
Immerse yourself.
How are those sales going, Banks?
Not bad, Doc. Just made another 12 this hour.
I knew there was something special about you the minute you stepped off that train, kid.
Say, Doc, this new office is great and all, but aren't we a bit crowded in this room?
You'll get used to it, kiddo.
It's just that in New York, I wasn't...
Well, this isn't New York, as I'm sure you've noticed by now. Anyway, George wants to see you in his office ASAP.
I see. Thanks for letting me know. Could I bother you a moment, Miss Rogers?
No bother, Mr. Banks. What can I do for you?
So, how are you liking your new job?
Oh, it's wonderful. I finally feel useful around here.
To be fair, being Merrick's secretary wasn't exactly a useless position.
True, but I think I can bring a lot more to this company doing promotional art rather than just taking calls.
The Coral Gables project seems to be going pretty well, wouldn't you say?
It sure does. If this office is any indication, we'll be doing extremely well in the next few years.
Have you happened to hear anything about what's next?
I think Mr. Merrick is still concentrating on getting lots sold. After that, who knows? Although I did overhear someone saying something about a pool. No idea what they meant by it, though.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Got a moment, Wilson?
Of course, Banks. What can I do for you?
What's that you're working on?
Oh, I'm just getting a few reports transcribed for Mr. Merrick.
Reports?
Yeah, you know, the reports you all have to do after making a sale or interviewing a potential client. The ones you're required to do.
Oh, sure, those, of course. Things around here seem to be shaping up pretty nicely, wouldn't you say?
They certainly seem to be, Banks. They certainly seem to be.
See you around. Hey, Doc.
Howdy, Banks.
Everything going well for the development?
Not well, no. Things are going gangbusters. We're expanding every day and getting ever closer to the big project.
Big project?
Oh, don't you worry. That will be revealed very soon.
How are things going for you?
Not bad, not bad. Although, being cooped up in this office is starting to get to me. I'm itching to get back out into the field again. Oh, which reminds me, are you doing anything later today? I could use your help with something.
I should have a little time available. What sort of help did you have in mind?
I'm going to be conducting a demonstration for some prospective buyers, and I need a volunteer. But in order to keep things under control, I can't just pick any old egg. I need a plant.
So you want me to be your volunteer?
If you'd be so kind. I'll have my cart set up in a field near the corner of Granada and Bird. Drop by this afternoon and I'll give you more details.
Better hit the bricks.
Righto.
Alfie, good to see you. Please come in. How do you like the new office?
It's a bit crowded, but much nicer looking than the one downtown.
The success of Coral Gables isn't going to be about money or sales. It's about aesthetics.
Well, you've certainly gone above and beyond in that department, sir.
There's no need to be so formal. We're all a big family here. Please call me George.
Fair enough. What was it you wanted to see me about, George?
Ah, yes, of course. I'm giving you a very special assignment. We've been doing fantastic with sales thus far, but I've decided to try a new approach. I'm calling the project State Days. Each week, we'll bring down a group of people by bus from a different state. But it won't just be enough to show them around. We need something more. A spectacle.
What kind of spectacle?
Ah, this is where you come in. I want you to ask around, see if you can find some sort of performer or show that will impress the crowds.
I really wouldn't know where to begin.
You're a resourceful young fellow. I'm sure you'll find something. Which reminds me. Here you are, the keys to your own company car. It should make getting around town much easier.
No fooling? My own car?
It's cheaper for us to have you drive yourself around rather than pay for taxi rides. You can drive, can't you?
Well, I admit it's been a while.
Just take care not to run into any ditches and you should be fine. Oh, and also, this telegram arrived for you this morning. I was going to send it along with my secretary, but you got here first. Now get to it. I've got a group from New York coming in 2 days, and I want some entertainment for them.
I'm on it. So what's this all about?
The future, my boy, the future!
And what will I be doing exactly?
You're going to be my plant in the crowd, but there's one last thing I need before we're ready to go.
What's that?
I seem to have misplaced my model streetcar, or maybe I left it back at the sales office. Could you go have a look while I finish setting up?
I'm on it. Could I bother you a moment, Miss Rogers?
No bother, Mr. Banks. What can I do for you?
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Got a moment, Wilson?
Of course, Banks. What can I do for you?
Say, you've been around all morning. Did you happen to notice a model streetcar on Doc's desk?
Oh,
Is something wrong?
Banks, you have to promise me you won't say anything.
All right, mum's the word. What's the problem?
When Doc left earlier, I noticed the model streetcar on his desk. I went to get it so I could go after him and let him know he left it behind. But I accidentally knocked it on the floor and, well, the little antenna it had on it broke off. I feel terrible about it, but there's nothing I can do.
Oh, is that all? Don't worry about it. Let me have the model and I'll see about fixing it. And don't worry, Doc will be none the wiser.
Thank you, Banks. I owe you one.
See you around. Could I bother you a moment, Miss Rogers?
No bother, Mr. Banks. What can I do for you?
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
There he is.
Beauregard, how nice to see you.
Oh, why so formal, Alfred? Aren't you glad to see your brother?
Of course, I just wish I'd had a bit more of a warning is all.
Oh, come on. Who needs warnings with family? Anyway, let's have a seat. I was about to chew my own arm off waiting for you. So, tell me what you've been up to.
I've been doing fairly well, to be honest. I managed to get hired by George Merrick my first day down here.
Well, ain't that just the berries? That your heap out there?
Yes, I was given a company car this morning.
Hate to imagine what company it's been keeping.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just figured a high-profile guy like Merrick could afford something nicer, is all.
I'm working on an assignment at the moment.
Oh yeah? What?
I've been put in charge of finding a spectacle to sell lots to people coming in from out of town.
No kidding. Sounds like fun.
It's not fun, it's work.
So, who's to say work can't be fun?
You've never worked a day in your life, Bo. How would you know?
Are you gonna start with that baloney again?
Fair point. Anyhow, I have yet to find anything suitable.
Well, if it helps, I overheard that guy over there talking about how his wife was a wing walker or something. Might be something worth looking into.
You know, it just might. Thank you, Bo. Why don't you tell me what you've been up to?
Not too much, really. I've kind of been in a rut, to tell the truth. I feel like I could use a change.
Why don't you go to work for the company?
Morris is still peeved at what happened with you. He hasn't been very receptive.
Oh. Look, about that.
You don't have to explain yourself, Alfie. I know you couldn't possibly have done what he says you did. Whatever really happened, you're better off having left that place.
Thank you, Bo. I appreciate your support. It's been great catching up with you, Bo, but I really should get going. How long are you planning on being in town for?
Well, actually, I was considering moving down here too.
Really? You're gonna leave Mother alone?
She'll be fine. She's got plenty of friends in the neighborhood. Besides, it's gotten to the point where I'm feeling like more of a burden than a help.
And she's actually letting little baby Bo come down here on his own?
Knock it off, will ya? She doesn't mind it so much knowing you're here. Anyway, I'll be here if you get any more time off today.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Pardon the interruption, folks.
Huh? Oh, what can I do for you?
Pleasure to meet you, sir. And madam. My name is Alfred Banks, but please call me Alfie.
How do you do, Alfie? The name's Richard Burns, but everyone calls me Curly. Over there's my wife, Mabel Cody.
Pleasure's all mine, Mr. Banks.
Are you folks from down here originally?
Nah, we're just traveling around with our act.
Your act?
Sure, ain't you heard of Mabel Cody's Flying Circus?
I'm afraid I haven't. Please, tell me about it.
Why, it's the most exciting and daring show you'll see all year. We got a biplane which flies unbelievably low to the ground, and Mabel walks across the wings. We've been touring all across the state, impressing crowds in the hundreds.
Sounds exciting. Are you for hire?
Always. Who's interested?
Have you ever heard of George Merrick?
The guy who's developing this area? Sure.
Well, he's in need of a spectacle to entertain crowds he's planning on bringing in from out of state. I think your flying circus would fit the bill perfectly.
Sounds good. But don't forget about our little issues, Curly.
Ah, of course.
Is there a problem?
Well, a couple, actually. But really, they're more minor setbacks than problems. Our pilot just quit to get married, so we haven't got anyone to fly our plane. Then there's the plane itself, which got a bit damaged during the last show. And of course, the small issue of requiring payment in advance. But we can still talk business. These are just minor setbacks that can be easily resolved, I'm sure.
You say you haven't got a pilot?
Well, at the moment, no. Like I said, our guy quit last week.
I heard there's a pretty good pilot in town, but we haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Oh, yeah, the Flynn or something like that. If we could get him on board, that would be just ducky.
What's wrong with your plane?
Nothing too serious. It's being worked on right now. The mechanic said it should be ready by next week.
I don't know if Mr. Merrick wants to wait that long. Where's the plane now? Maybe I can see about speeding up the process.
It's over at the airfield near Granada Boulevard.
About your payment.
Of course, of course. Our fee is $50 up front. That gets you a full show, which lasts 30 minutes.
I'm afraid I haven't got that kind of money on me. I'll have to ask Mr. Merrick about it.
Sure, not a problem. Just let us know when you've got the dough.
I appreciate your time.
No sweat, pal.
Hello there, my good man.
Yes, sir?
Curly and Mabel sent me to check up on things. How long before this beauty is up in the sky again?
Shouldn't be more than a week. I'm kind of stuck waiting right now. There isn't much else I can do at the moment.
What is it you're waiting on?
I have 2 parts on their way. One's a piece for the rudder, and the other's a magneto for the engine.
What about this magneto you mentioned?
The magneto for the ignition is damaged, and I'm waiting on a replacement to come in.
What sort of engine is it?
Curtiss OX5. Fairly common engine in these types of planes. Some boats, too. Unreliable piece of junk, really. But they mostly get the job done.
Any idea where I'd be able to get one?
Order from the manufacturer, like I did. Aside from that, any place where there's lots of planes or boats would have them in spades.
I think that gives me an idea. By the way, where is the magneto usually found on the engine?
Right at the bottom in front. Can't miss it.
How badly is the rudder damaged?
See for yourself. Looks like something took a bite out of it.
So what are you waiting on to fix it?
A new rudder top. Should be here in a few days.
Is there anything that might be used as a substitute?
Any decent-sized wooden plank would do in a pinch, sure.
You look awfully young to be an airplane mechanic. How long have you been doing this for?
6 months next week. But I've been working on planes since I was a kid. My father was an airplane mechanic during the war, see? So he taught me everything he knew.
I'll let you get on with it.
See ya.
Welcome to the Dinner Key Marina, sir. Please let me know if I can be of any assistance.
Hello there.
Fine day for it. What can I do for you?
Don't you get uncomfortable standing out in this heat wearing dark clothing?
You get used to it after a while. And besides, there's a nice sea breeze that comes in every so often. Keeps things cool.
I suppose there are worse places to be standing around.
Yep, that there are.
This marina doesn't seem to have many boats.
Yes, well, hasn't been a commercial marina very long. It was taken over for naval operations during the war. But we're steadily getting more people coming in. My guess is people will be fighting for space within the next year or so.
That's certainly an interesting contraption at the end of the dock there, isn't it?
What, the hydroplane? Yes, it's definitely something to look at. It's been docked there for quite a while now. I actually can't remember seeing who brought it in. Shame, really. I'd like to ask the owner about it. Really quite a fascinating piece of machinery.
I'll just be on my way.
Have a nice day, sir.
George?
Yes, Alfie?
I think I may have found your spectacle.
Wonderful. What is it?
Mabel Cody's Flying Circus. She's a wing walker. Does all kinds of stunts, apparently.
Sounds like a terrific find. Well done.
There's just one thing. She and her husband require payment in advance.
I see. How much?
$50 for a 30-minute show.
Reasonable enough, I suppose. You'll have to take the money out of our business account. Just head over to the Bank of Coral Gables and tell them I sent you to withdraw the money.
How's everything coming along?
Wonderfully. Thank you for asking. Clearly, you can see progress by way of the new office, but we're also expanding to larger projects. I've got my head architect designing a luxury pool, and our largest project is in the initial phase.
What exactly is this mysterious project I keep hearing about?
It'll be announced soon. I just need to iron out some details. But it will be worth the wait, I can assure you.
I think there might be something wrong with the car you gave me.
Oh? Has it given you any trouble?
It just sort of makes this clunking noise sometimes.
I was told it was in perfectly acceptable working order. Oh well, as long as it gets you around, you'll be all right.
That's all for now.
Welcome to the Bank of Coral Gables. How may I help you, sir?
I need to withdraw some money.
Thank you for banking with us, sir. Have a pleasant day.
I'll try my best.
Everyone with their hands up! This is a robbery! I said put your hands up!
Now, just a minute. There's really no need for this.
Shut up, Mac. Nobody asked you to talk. Just put your hands up and hand over the dough.
Now, if you'll just listen for a moment.
Well, what are you playing at, bucko? I ain't got time to chat. Just hand over your dough before the boys in blue get here, will ya?
What do you think this is, playtime? You just come in here, waving a gun around, demanding everyone put their hands up? Have you even done this before?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. But this ain't about my personal life. This is about you handing over your money.
Look, you weren't born yesterday. There's no way you can make a clean sneak. But if you leave now, maybe you can avoid the police. Why not take that chance?
Believe me, I got plenty of time before the fuzz show up. Hell, I might even have time to put one between your eyes if you keep bugging me the way you are.
You talk tough, but I bet you've never even fired a gun before.
You shut up, you hear me? I don't gotta take this from you. I've shot plenty of guys. You don't even compare to half of them.
Okay, enough talking. So, what's it gonna be?
Okay, fine. I don't know what I was thinking coming in here, but there's gotta be another way. I'll leave you alone, but promise me you won't call the cops, okay?
Not bad, Banks. I'm impressed. Finally, a newsworthy story. Real estate agent foils bank robbery. I may or may not include a pun on your last name. I haven't quite decided that yet.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt.
How are things going on the Gables project anyway?
Not bad. In fact, you might want to come to the Granada airfield in a few days to see for yourself.
Sounds like a plan. See you there, Banks.
Pardon the interruption, folks.
Huh? Oh, what can I do for you?
I appreciate your time.
No sweat, pal.
Here you go. I believe this takes care of your payment.
Certainly does. Much appreciated.
Hey, Bo.
Alfie, what's going on?
This is a quaint little place. I've never been here myself.
It is, isn't it? Kinda reminds me of the one back home we used to go to.
I can see it, sure. But all these diners tend to look the same after a while.
There's something about this one. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels special somehow.
Why don't you get a job here?
I just might, actually.
Really? I was just pulling your leg. You're telling me you actually want to work?
Is it that hard to believe?
To be perfectly frank, yes. What's made you change your mind?
Leaving the city, coming down here, I guess it's just made me realize I need to be independent.
How's Mother doing?
She's okay. Coping. Like I said, she's got friends who keep her company.
It's been nearly 10 years since Father died. She needs to move on.
Tell me something I don't know. In a way, I think my moving down here will do her some good. She'll realize she has a life to live on her own.
I certainly hope so. Has New York changed much?
You've been gone less than 4 months. How much could it have possibly changed?
You'd be surprised, Bo. Although, to tell the truth, I get the feeling this city will be almost unrecognizable in a few years. Just the way of the world, I suppose.
You really give me the heebie-jeebies when you get all philosophical like that, Alfie.
Hey, Bo, how'd you like to go for a drive?
Really? Where to?
Want to come mingle at the men's club?
I'm not really in the mood to listen to a bunch of old men tell stories. Maybe we could go someplace else?
Come with me to the sales office? You can see where I work.
If it's all the same, I'd rather not. I'll probably just get in the way.
How about Dinner Key Marina? You can look at the boats in the ocean.
Sounds like the bee's knees. Let's go.
Hello there.
Fine day for it. What can I do for you?
I'll just be on my way.
Have a nice day, sir.
Bo, come over here.
What is it?
I need you to do me a favor and chat up the security guard. Tell him you own that hydroplane over there.
What? Why?
Just trust me. Oh, and if he starts asking you questions about it, just make something up. I get the feeling he isn't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay, if you say so.
Come on, Bo. Let's head back.
That was fun. I'm glad we made it back in one piece. Thanks for the ride, Alfie.
Hey, Bo.
Alfie! What's going on?
I'll see you around, Bo.
Righto.
Pardon the interruption, folks.
Huh? Oh, what can I do for you?
I appreciate your time.
No sweat, pal.
All good with you, Morris?
Yes, sir. I hope all is well with you too.
Begging your pardon,
Yeah, what is it?
I feel this may be a silly question on my part, but are you a pilot?
Guilty as charged. Zachariah Flynn's the name, but everybody in the know calls me Flyboy.
In the know?
Sure, anyone with half a brain's heard of my heroic deeds during the war.
I suppose my brain must not be intact, because I've never heard of you.
Well then, allow me to enlighten you. During my first campaign, I was in a total of 57 dogfights, and I won every single one of them. I racked up 200 enemy kills and earned 17 Medals of Valor. Then I started my second campaign in 1915, where So that's basically a summary of my accomplishments.
Oh, yes. Fascinating. I have a business proposal for you.
Oh yeah?
I'm in need of a pilot for an air show that's being put together. Would you be interested?
That all depends. What's it pay?
That's a detail we can negotiate later on.
And what exactly happens in the air show?
You fly the plane, and Mabel Cody does wing walking and other stunts.
Mabel Cody, eh?
Yes, of Mabel Cody's Flying Circus. They've been touring all over Florida.
Sounds interesting, but I have one last question. Why on earth would a pilot of my skill and fame want to work for some podunk air show?
Because it's being sponsored by George Merrick and his Coral Gables project. Surely you've heard of that.
Of course, can't throw a rock in this town without seeing ads for it. He seems to be getting lots of people interested.
He is. Just think of what all those people will say when they see you in the show.
Okay, I'll be your pilot, but on one condition.
What's your condition?
I want to be the star attraction of your show. You'll have posters, right?
I would assume so, yes.
Right. I want them to make me out as the star.
I see. Any other requirements?
Well, now that you mention it, I want people to get excited when they hear my name. Also, the colors should make people think of the sky, like a sunset during a dogfight. And finally, I think these posters should be huge. I want to be able to see one from the air.
I'll see what I can do. Are you a new member here? I've never seen you around.
No, I've just been away for a while. I don't know if you've heard, but there was this little thing called the Great War.
Sure, but that was 4 years ago.
I had other things to do before visiting this fair city again. When you get to be as famous as me, there's a lot of demand for your presence.
I'll see you later.
Take care, Mac.
Pardon the interruption, folks.
Huh? Oh, what can I do for you?
You say you haven't got a pilot?
Well, at the moment, no.
I heard there's a pretty good...
Oh, yeah. If we could get him on board, that...
I appreciate your time.
No sweat, pal.
George?
Yes, Alfie?
That's all for now. Hello there, my good man.
Yes, sir?
I'll let you get on with it.
See ya.
So what's this all about?
The future, my boy, the future!
And what will I be doing exactly?
You're going to be my plant in the crowd, but there's one last thing I need before we're ready to go.
What's that?
I seem to have misplaced my model streetcar, or maybe I left it back at the sales office. Could you go have a look while I finish setting up?
I'm on it. Hello there.
Fine day for it. What can I do for you?
I'll just be on my way.
Have a nice day, sir.
Here you go, Doc. One model streetcar ready to roll.
Thanks, Alfie. Sometimes I think I'd forget my own head if it weren't bolted on. Now come back in about a half an hour and join the crowd. When I ask for a volunteer, you get up here before any of the others get a chance. Then just follow my lead and we'll knock everyone's socks off.
Sounds easy enough. See you in a bit.
And in order to show off the amazing future of Coral Gables, I'll need a volunteer from the crowd. Who would like to assist me?
I'll do it.
Fantastic. Now, young man who I can assure everyone I have never seen before today, what is your name?
It's Alfie Banks, sir.
Well, Alfie, you look like a man with taste. A man who wouldn't think twice about moving into a luxury area like Coral Gables. And believe me, if you think it's something now, just wait until you see what the future holds. Come closer and let everyone in the crowd get a look. Now then, if you'd be so kind as to take this alligator clip and attach it to the positive terminal on that battery there. Fantastic. Now just wait 1 second while I get the model. And here we go. Gentlemen, behold the future of Coral Gables. The streetcar. What the... Ah!
Doc, are you all right?
Well, that certainly went off with a bang, didn't it? Show's over, folks. You can see yourselves out.
I don't understand what happened.
Seems the antenna on the model car touched the charged-up pole and went kablooey.
But why would it do that?
Probably because some joker swapped the plastic antenna for this metal one with a wire.
Oh, I thought the model was battery-powered.
No, it's a wind-up. The battery was just to impress the crowd. But it hardly matters. I set out to wow them, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, it could have gone better, but you did what you could. You can go ahead and get back to what you were doing before.
You're welcome. Would you be opposed to me taking your sign, Doc?
Take it. I'm sick of the sight of it.
Think you might make use of this piece of wood?
Now let me see. I think I can, yeah. If I shave off a bit of the side here, it'll work as a replacement for the missing chunk of rudder. Hey, thanks, mister. You really saved me some time here.
Happy to help. Would you mind terribly if I borrowed one of your wrenches?
Not as long as you bring it back, I don't. I can't say I blame you for wanting to borrow it. That clunker looks like it needs to be serviced pretty soon.
Hey, Bo.
Alfie, what's going on?
Hey, Bo. How'd you like to go for a drive?
Really? Where to?
How about Dinner Key Marina? You can look at the boats in the ocean.
Sounds like the bee's knees. Let's go.
Bo, come over here.
What is it?
I need you to do me a favor and chat up the security guard. Tell him you own that hydroplane over there.
What? Why?
Just trust me. Oh, and if he starts asking you questions about it, just make something up. I get the feeling he isn't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay, if you say so.
Come on, Bo. Let's head back.
That was fun. I'm glad we made it back in one piece. Thanks for the ride, Alfie.
Could I bother you a moment, Miss Rogers?
No bother, Mr. Banks. What can I do for you?
Ms. Rogers, I'm on a special assignment for Mr. Merrick, and I need to design a poster.
Sure. What will you be needing?
But I need a few specific design elements.
Just tell me what you need and I'll prepare a mock-up for you. What are you going to want to put on it for the name?
I think Flyboy Flynn's Fantastic Flying Circus will be good.
That's a mouthful, but it does have a nice ring to it. So what color scheme are you going to want?
Orange and red.
Okay, and how big are we going to print these?
Big. The biggest we can get. Around 37 by 60.
You aren't fooling around. Right. Give me about 20 minutes and I'll have a mock-up designed for you. There you are.
Thank you. Begging your pardon,
Yeah, what is it?
I've had this poster made up for the air show. What do you think?
Let me see that. Well, this name is no good for a start. Nice colors, exactly what I was thinking. And what's this little number on the side here?
That's how big the final print size will be.
Of course, that's perfect. Hate to say it, but this poster ain't no good. Let me know when you've got it looking more like I want.
Could I bother you a moment, Miss Rogers?
No bother, Mr. Banks. What can I do for you?
Ms. Rogers, I'm afraid I need to ask you to redesign this poster.
It's fine, Mr. Banks. Just tell me what you need. What are you going to want to put on it for the name?
How does Daredevil Flynn's Flying Circus of Doom sound?
To be honest, it sounds ridiculously over the top. But I guess it's exciting. So what color scheme are you going to want?
Orange and red.
Okay, and how big are we going to print these?
Big. The biggest we can get. Around 37 by 60.
You aren't fooling around. Right. Give me about 20 minutes and I'll have a mock-up designed for you. There you are.
Thank you. Begging your pardon,
Yeah, what is it?
I've had this poster made up for the air show. What do you think?
Let me see that. Nice name, I like that. Nice colors, exactly what I was thinking. And what's this little number on the side here?
That's how big the final print size will be.
Of course, that's perfect. Well, this is just the bee's knees. People are gonna love this show.
I'm glad you approve. Does this mean I can count on you as the pilot?
Sure, just let me know where and when, and I'll be there.
Begging your pardon.
Yeah, what is it?
I'll see you later.
Take care, Mac.
Hey, Bo.
Alfie, what's going on?
Hey, Bo. How'd you like to go for a drive?
Really? Where to?
How about Dinner Key Marina? You can look at the boats in the ocean.
Sounds like the bee's knees. Let's go.
Bo, come over here.
What is it?
I need you to do me a favor and chat up the security guard. Tell him you own that hydroplane over there.
What? Why?
Just trust me. Oh, and if he starts asking you questions about it, just make something up. I get the feeling he isn't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay, if you say so.
Come on, Bo. Let's head back.
That was fun. I'm glad we made it back in one piece. Thanks for the ride, Alfie.
Is this the sort of magneto you need for the engine?
It sure is. How were you able to get one so quickly?
I have my ways.
Well, you really saved me some time. I'll get to work replacing this right away.
Fantastic. Here's your wrench back, by the way.
Thanks. Hey, you've really helped me out with getting this plane fixed. It should be ready by tomorrow.
This is it. Are you ready?
I think so. Flyboy?
Are you kidding? I was born ready.
Only thing is, we can't seem to find Dave.
Who?
The fellow who drives me over to the plane so I can climb on it.
Quite a turnout today, Banks. Seems Merrick has got a lot riding on this little show. Feeling nervous?
Nervous? Me? Of course not.
Oh, by the way, Miss Cody, I ran into someone named Dave on my way over, and he said to tell you he wasn't feeling well. At least, I think that's what he said. He was a bit hard to understand, to be honest.
He probably got into Curly's secret stash of corn whiskey again. Well, looks like we're gonna need another driver if we aim to get this stunt performed today.
I'll drive the car.
You sure? You ain't practiced with us before.
How hard could it possibly be?
Don't worry, Banks. With a pilot of my skill, this will be like shooting fish in a barrel.
It will be, assuming you ain't one of those all hat and no cattle types.
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but I'm sure this will all go down without a hitch.
All right, let's get this done. We've got a crowd to impress.
Okay, Banks, it's as simple as cow pie. All you gotta do is keep her steady and let Curly know when to lower the top. That'll signal Flyboy. When the plane comes, keep her at the right speed and position so I can climb up on it.
Oh no, she's lost her grip!
Banks, do something! I can't hold on much longer!
She won't be able to climb up the ladder if she doesn't regain her footing!
Mabel, step on the car roof so you can get your footing back.
Yee-haw! That did her! Thanks, Alfie!
So they finally gave me my own sales team after I practically had to beg them for it.
No kidding. I'm glad to hear they finally come around. You get your own office too?
No, not yet.
Well, things will work themselves out. I mean, it's only been, 3 years?
4, actually.
Well, you can't expect to become an overnight success, especially not with such a risky project. Have they at least given you a nicer car?
No, I'm still driving that old green heap around.
I see. Well, business talk aside, how's your brother doing?
Good, as far as I know. I haven't really spoken to him in a couple of months. Last I heard, he was going back to visit our mother. Wouldn't surprise me if he was asking to borrow some money. But then that's Bo for you. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth and spoiled rotten ever since. Anyway, Weeks, it was a pleasure catching up, but I really should be going.
Have a good one, Banks.
Mr. Banks, a message came for you from Mr. Merrick. He said to meet him at his mother's home as soon as possible.
Thank you, Morris. It's been a while since I've been here. I wonder why George invited me.
Hello, Alfie. Glad you could make it.
Thanks for having me. It's great seeing you all, although I have to confess I'm a bit confused as to why I'm here.
I'm glad to see he's managed to stay modest.
It is one of his better qualities, Mother. I just wanted to say that over the past few years, you've been extremely valuable to us. Not only have you helped immensely with establishing Coral Gables, you've also managed to climb the ranks in the office in a relatively short amount of time.
Oh, George, stop beating around the bush, would you? He knows what he's accomplished. What he's trying to say, Alfie, is that you're a man who can get things done. And as it happens, we need you for something very important.
Yes. Thank you, Eunice. My dear wife, always to the point. In any case, we're getting close to incorporating Coral Gables as a city, and that requires a special team. A team I want you to be a part of.
I'm honored, sir.
As I'm sure you've heard, we're only a day away from launching our electric streetcar line. We'll be having a ceremony to commemorate the launch. But we'll also be making a very important announcement. The new mayor of Coral Gables.
Mayor?
Yes, every new city needs a mayor. Since we're not a very big city, we have the luxury of foregoing elections and having the first one appointed. I think announcing the mayor along with the streetcars will bring heaps of publicity. Wouldn't you say so, Miss Douglas?
I've already got most of the article written. Just need to punch it up a bit with the details.
Why not bring in someone well-known to make a speech at the ceremony? That would certainly make an impression.
I thought you might suggest something like that, Banks. Did you have anyone in mind?
Not for certain, but I'm sure I can find someone in town.
I might be able to help you there, Alfie.
Well then, I look forward to seeing what you accomplish.
Hello, Mrs. Merrick.
Hello, dear.
How have you been feeling?
Just fine, thank you. I'm content to stay in and watch everything going on around.
I'm impressed by all the changes myself. I can't imagine what it must be like for someone who's lived here for so long.
I'm curious to know what this place will look like in 5 years. I hope to be around to see it.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You must be proud of your son.
Extremely. George always did have ambitions, but to see him succeed... From what George has told me, I'm sure your parents are proud of you too.
Yes, I think they are. Would you happen to have an idea of where I might be able to find some well-known people in the community to speak at tomorrow's event?
Well, I don't get out too much these days. But I've heard that some notable people have been playing at the Biltmore Golf Course.
Great. I'll swing by. No pun intended. Nice talking with you.
Always a pleasure, my dear.
I greatly appreciate your help, son. You truly go above and beyond the call of duty.
Good afternoon, Eunice.
Good afternoon, Alfie. What's on your mind?
How have you been? It's been a while since I last saw you.
It really has been too long, Alfie. But I've been well, thank you. Mostly busy with the PTA at the school George built a couple of years ago. We should have these little gatherings more often. You know you're always welcome here.
You're his wife. Surely George has let something slip about who's going to be mayor.
Oh, Alfie, you know how George is about secrecy. Even if he had told me I couldn't say, especially considering he's standing right over there.
Hello.
You'll find out along with the rest of us.
Any insights on places I might be able to find someone well-known to speak at tomorrow's event?
I haven't really been out much lately, but I've heard that the Venetian pool is drawing quite the crowd. It's a beautiful day. Why not go there and get some sun? You might meet someone interesting, too.
I just might do that. Thanks. I'll speak to you later.
Okay.
I'm eager to see what you come up with, Banks. There never seems to be a dull moment with you around.
I just knew this hard work would all pay off. Oh, George, you sneaky old egg. Alfred Banks, first mayor of Coral Gables. If only you could see me now, Father. Begging your pardon.
What is it, boy?
I'm sorry to bother you, but you look incredibly familiar. Have we met?
Depends. You're not a politician, are you?
No.
Didn't think so. You look too clean. I'm William Jennings Bryan. You may have heard of me if you've read a newspaper in the last 30 years.
Of course. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bryan. My name's Alfie Banks. I work with George Merrick on the Coral Gables Development Project.
I'm sure that's very exciting work, young man. You tell Mr. Merrick that this pool of his is quite enjoyable.
Could I be bold enough to ask you for a huge favor?
I'd say that is fairly bold, seeing as we've just met, but boldness is a quality I admire. Ask away.
The thing is, Mr. Merrick is having a ceremony tomorrow to unveil the new line of streetcars, and I think it would be an asset to have someone as famous as you there to give a speech.
Not interested. Streetcars are just the cousins of railroads.
I don't quite follow.
Now is not the time for a debate, son. Suffice it to say that the corporations running the streetcars don't represent the interests of the common man. And I very much care about the interests of the common man. So you'll understand if I politely decline your proposal.
If I'm not mistaken, you're quite the advocate of prohibition, aren't you?
You bet your buttons I am. These freewheeling wets must be going through a tough time, not having been able to drink in all these years. I was having a conversation with one just last week. He was complaining about limiting freedoms by not allowing the enjoyment of alcohol. Do you know what I said to him? I said, well, if you need it so much, why don't you just call up your pal, Charles Darwin, and have him evolve you an extra hand to slap yourself in the face? Ha! You should have seen the look on him. I love throwing their ridiculous rhetoric back in their faces.
Mr. Bryan, if you would just listen a moment, I think I can show you that speaking at the event won't be such a terrible thing.
Well, the least I can do is offer you the courtesy of my ears. Have at it, boy. Right. You think I should speak at this rally sponsored by the Streetcar Corporation. I eagerly await your reasoning.
My boss, Mr. Merrick, he cares about the people. You ought to hear him talk. He doesn't care about profits. He just wants to build a community people can enjoy.
Is that so? Well, he sounds like a man I could respect. I have to admit, what I've seen so far of his project has been inspiring. That he's doing it for the sake of the people is even more so. Not to be rude, but what exactly is the point of this rally, if I might ask?
We're trying to let the community know what the Gables has to offer. It's merely to benefit those who don't know about it and may be interested in moving there.
Sounds noble enough. I can support that motivation. I'm sure you understand my caution at lending my support. What sort of image is Merrick trying to go for?
He's focusing on aesthetics. Coral Gables is the city beautiful.
The city beautiful. I do like the sound of that. I'd say it's fairly admirable to be concerned with how your city looks. You don't find that ideal in many real estate types these days.
Listen, Mr. Bryan, I'm not going to take up much more of your day. I just want you to consider my offer one last time. Your presence at the rally will ensure that the people leave with the proper ideals and finely tuned moral compasses.
Well, when you put it that way, it does make the prospect sound considerably more appealing.
So what do you say?
All right, you convinced me. You let Mr. Merrick know I'll speak at that rally. Just tell me where and when I need to be there.
I'll be sure to pass along the message. George, I've managed to recruit William Jennings Bryan for the rally tomorrow.
You don't say. That's fantastic. Excellent work, Alfie. This will be a great boon to publicity. Make sure you're there bright and early tomorrow. I want you standing next to me when we make the announcements.
You've got it. See you tomorrow.
And so you can all look forward to a bright future in this, the City Beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. May I say it's been an honor and a privilege to have you here with us today. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude and launch our fleet of streetcars, bringing Coral Gables into the modern age, there's one more matter to attend to. I want to take this opportunity to thank Alfie Banks. Without his hard work, Coral Gables wouldn't even be close to where it is today. Which brings me to the last order of business. As you all know, we have been incorporated as a city, and every city deserves a mayor. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to announce the first mayor of the city of Coral Gables. Edward Doc Dammers.
Thank you, George. It's an honor. People of Coral Gables, allow me to express my excitement at this wonderful opportunity. As your mayor, I guarantee a standard of living like no other.
Would you excuse me?
Well, if it isn't Alfie Banks. Fancy running into you at the Biltmore. I thought you'd picked up and gone back to New York. Where have you been?
I've been keeping a low profile on purpose, if you must know.
Oh, come on. You can't still be sore about being snubbed for mayor, can you?
How did you...
I'm a journalist, Banks. It's my job to notice things. It's been over a year. Can't you let it go?
It's just... I feel like all the work I've put in over the past few years has meant nothing. Honestly, what do I have to show for it? I came down here to restore my family name, to honor my father's legacy, and instead I've just been going around running errands like a fool.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, Banks. If you're looking for a pat on the back every time you make a sale, Merrick's outfit might not be for you. Not to say he's ungrateful, he's just extremely focused and he knows how to take advantage of his resources.
Take advantage is right.
Anyway, I hate to put a damper on your pity party, but I came here tonight as a reporter, and I think you ought to know there's a big storm headed this way.
What?
Yep, they're saying it's going to be a pretty big hurricane. You might want to get home while you still have one.
I'm sure they're just exaggerating. Wouldn't they have said something sooner?
Weather's not easy to predict.
Well, I appreciate the warning, but I'm sure things will be fine.
Suit yourself. I'm going to notify the people in charge of this party.
I guess she has a point. No reason to stick around here moping. I'd better get home.
Excuse me, pal. I'm looking for a fellow named Tom Walsh. You know him by any chance?
I'm afraid not, sorry.
Perfectly fine. I suppose I'll just have to wait for him upstairs.
Haven't I seen that face somewhere before? Where is everybody? Surely this hurricane can't be that serious a threat.